Hi, I'm Sheridan. Thanks for joining me today. I'm an APQS rep and my store is located in Hendersonville, North Carolina, also known as Sheridan Kay Quilting. So let's get involved with this daily maintenance so you will know exactly what to do with your APQS machine. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to walk you through doing our daily maintenance. This is what we do before we start quilting each day. It's not very complicated, but I think for those people that are starting out new with an APQS machine, this might answer some questions. And for those of you that have had an APQS machine for a while, it'll also give you the confidence that you are taking care of your machine so that it will last a long, long time. It will be purring like a kitten and keep your investment protected. So I'm going to turn on my pure sine wave surge protector. You'll hear a beep, and that will be turning that on. So my pure sine wave surge protector is on, and now I'm going to turn on my APQS machine. Let's see what happens when we turn on the overhead lights. That might be blinding us, but let's just check it and see. Oh, that's pretty bright, but I think it'll help us for the maintenance. So I have 4 wicks up here, and I have sheen from each wick. So do I need to oil my wicks? Nope, we're good to go for today. Next thing we're going to do is unthread the machine. First thing I'm going to do is unthread all the way back to the tension assembly. The reason that I do that is because when we warm up the machine, the take-up lever is going to be going up and down. We do not want to risk the thread going into this opening. So you want to be sure that you unthread it and secure it away from the moving action. Next thing I'm going to do is turn off my stitch regulator. I'm going to turn down my motor speed. You may have a different version of an APQS machine. So you will need to turn off your stitch regulator. Here's my regulator on Freddie. Turn it off. If it's Lucy, it will be up here on the left side. Lenny, same thing. Blue light, though, does indicate the stitch regulator is on. So let's turn off the stitch regulator. Now let's turn down the motor speed. Now normally we think of this gauge as telling us the stitches per inch. But when we turn off the stitch regulator, now we're in manual mode and it's going to go at a non-regulated mode. So we want to slow it down. And I want to test it to see if I have it at a good speed for the maintenance. I'm going to take out my bobbin case, lay it aside for now. I'm going to do, okay, what's happening? Nothing's happening. The reason nothing is happening is I have the motor speed turned down too slow. So I'm going to increase my motor speed. Now the needle is going up and down at a very nice pace. So this is a good view. Let's talk about what we see on the screen right now. I have my stitch regulator is turned off. I slowed down my motor speed. And the needle is going up and down nice and slow. So now I'm going to turn that off by using the handle. And it stops in the up position because I started in the up position. We've already checked the 4 wicks on the top of our machine. This version, this year, is 2019 and newer, so our wicks are located on the top of the machine. If you have a previous version, you might have a wick here on the left, and you do want to check it. And if it has sheen, remember what we do when we see sheen? We don't add any oil. Super easy to take care of. Next thing we're going to do is get rid of any lint that might be down in our hook assembly area. I have some canned air, I have a cheap brush, and I have a trash can. The bobbin has been removed. It's over here on the side. I'm going to put my trash can under my machine, and I'm going to brush it out. Ooh, look at that. Getting some good stuff out. So I try to remove the largest particles with my brush. I usually use a smaller brush, but wouldn't you know, when you're doing a video, I'm here at my home studio without some of the items that I use on a regular basis when I am at the store. We have an APQS store in Hendersonville. Just brush all that lint down, let it fall in the trash can. Okay, so we have the majority of the lint brushed out of the hook area. And now I'm going to use the compressed air. Now it's very important that you realize you should not shake compressed air. So I'm going to hold this up to the area that I want to make sure there is no dust. Here's a little tip. When the exterior of your compressed air feels cold, you need to stop. So it's a good idea just to do short little bursts, and as I like to say, don't inhale because there might be some dust flying. Oh, there was. You see, it doesn't feel cold. Okay, we blew the lint out. Wasn't too bad. That's a good thing, right? Get all of the lint out, and the next thing you're going to do is look closely at your bobbin basket where you put your bobbin case every time. So I'm going to go get my needle point oiler. When you purchased your APQS machine, you received a large bottle of oil. But I like to use a needle point oiler for oiling the hook because I can control how much oil I actually put on the machine. So next we are going to get our needle point oiler and oil the hook assembly. What this does, this puts down, getting the camera in the right place, this puts down a micro dot of oil. It does not flood out. So that will put down just a small amount of oil. On the left side, lower left quadrant, there is a little silver lip. Now this is for my daily maintenance. When I'm doing my deep cleaning and my WD-40 bath and all that, I don't necessarily do it the same way. But for my daily maintenance, I'm going to put 1 drop of oil on that silver lip. There it wants to run. Off to the side. It's not as easy to see when you're doing the video. Now I'm going to do needle up, needle down, and let that rotate nice and slow. So why am I starting out so nice and slow? Because I don't want to swing it off. I want it to go nice and slow. Remember earlier when I turned the motor speed down on the machine? Well, I don't want to sit here. Actually, I'm under the frame right now. I do not want to be tied up by holding this white button in for the needle to go up and down. So I'm going to go opposite the white dot on the handle for our machine today and turn on the manual mode. See the nice speed it's going? This will keep your machine really happy. First thing you did was check your wicks. The wicks on top of the machine, and we had sheen on every wick. Then we unthreaded the machine back to the tension assembly. We unthreaded the top thread. We took the bobbin case out and laid it to the side. We used a paintbrush or that type of a tool and removed the largest pieces of debris. Then we used compressed air, and we were aware that if the outside of the can was to get super cold, we would stop because that's when it's going to be releasing moisture. So I think we're doing pretty good, aren't we? We checked our motor speed to make sure that we didn't have it going too fast because when it's warming up like this, we want it to go nice and slow. The needle's going up and down at a nice pace. The oil is going around the hook assembly. We put 1 drop of oil on the hook assembly. And now we're just letting the machine warm up nice and slow. Do I have to stand here and watch this needle go up and down? Absolutely not. I would be off getting the quilt top ready to be loaded. My machine doesn't need me to sit here and watch the needle go up and down, but it does need me to give it this extra TLC every time before I start quilting. So I'm going to put the lid back on my needlepoint oiler. Going to move my compressed air and my paintbrush. And if you're worried about putting a little bit too much oil on it when you do that, you could place your trash can under your machine while it's warming up, just in case you overdid the oil. That's one reason I love the needlepoint oiler. You could also back it up so that you're doing this over your carriage, so that if a drop of oil does fall, it falls down on your carriage and not on your floor. I'm going to let that warm up for a second while I put my tools away. Okay, I think that should be great. I'm going to turn off the needle up, needle down that is happening because I have it in manual mode, so I'll touch that. I started with the needle down, so it stops with the needle down. Let's move the needle all the way up now. Very nice. What's next? We're going to rethread our machine. We're going to put our bobbin in our bobbin case and put it in the machine, and we will be ready to start our day. So it's super easy, doesn't take any time at all. And all this time that I've been talking, I could have been loading a quilt, and you could do the same thing. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer them. I look forward to hearing from you. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so that you're notified every time I release a video. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.